Can you see us now? Oh, fantastic. There we go. So we are here. We're here at Ludlow Junior School, Ludlow Primary School, the school that I came to when I was a little boy back in the day. We've literally just finished. I could do with a coffee. I haven't got anything. Have I got any water? I have got some water. I don't know if we can zoom in a bit closer. Here we are. So we are live on a massive cardboard pyramid stage, cardboard Coventry Cathedral, pyramids in June. That's Glastonbury. We're on a bit of a back foot, to say the least. I don't know if we can zoom in to another shot. Have you got any other shots that we can show everybody at home? Yeah, we have. Okay, let's see if we can cut to that then. Okay, let's cut across to that. So here I am. We just had a fantastic time. Oh my goodness. So we had, it's just wonderful. I went to this school. I went to the school that we've just been into when I was a little boy. Gosh, 1970 I went there. They literally started We're here at Ludlow Primary School, Ludlow Junior School, Ludlow Infant, still been nursery. We're very excited this morning. Very excited this morning because we are going to be literally live on BBC Radio Shropshire at 11:30. So I've got to set a Zoom event up. I've got to set a Zoom call up for that. We've got quite a lot to organise. We're making this up as we go along. If there was ever any doubt, be in no doubt now, we are actually making this up as we go along. I'm flying like a drone pilot, flying through Ludlow Primary School here in Shropshire, my hometown. I'll cut to a little video in a moment. We'll play you a video of what we do here at Steamco. At 11:15, we're going to a fantastic little film of a school that did some incredible DT work. And I don't know if they're going to join us, but we're going to get that video up anyway. Oh, somebody's on the phone. I'm going to have to take this call. Just 1 second. We're all born artists. The problem is to remain an artist as we grow up. That was Pablo Picasso. And I think we've got to help our kids, all our kids, aim high in life. Not just high, but higher than high. We've got to help our kids find their passion, their art. So I'm Nick Corston, I'm just a dad, I'm co-founder of Steamco. One day maybe I'll be the CEO, I don't know. So Steamco is a non-profit community enterprise that helps connect our kids with their art and our communities with their schools by running creativity days. And we want to get the whole community involved. We want people who've had kids, not had kids, got kids, whatever, to come and work with us to help us run these days.
It's magic! It's magical!
What inspired me? Well, I saw a talk by Sir Ken Robinson. I read half a book called What's the Point of School? On what we should be teaching our kids. And I went to Camp Bestel, which is really a Glastonbury for kids. And I thought, I want this in my kids' school. I've got a lovely little film my dad gave me of me when I was 1 and him with my first ever train set. And I show that to kids in schools all over the country. And how my dad gave me the greatest gift. He gave me my art. Because art is what we call it when what we do might connect us to somebody else. So art could be painting, it could be photography, it could be cooking, it could be coding, it could be dancing, it could be design, it could be DJing, it could be robots, it could be rockets. The fun, the excitement that we have making and firing rockets in schools is to be seen, to be believed.
This is the best day of my life.
This truck contains everything you need to run a creativity festival in a primary school. 30 coding kits with the BBC Microbit. We've got rocket making kits. We do cardboard challenge. We can do the egg drop. We've got a t-shirt printing machine so we can print I Love Art t-shirts. So the kids design their own logo, take a selfie. We've had thousands of posters of those done. That's with JR, French street artist JR. So we've got communities all over the country designing I Love Art logos, taking photos, and we sent them off to JR, and he's printed 1,000 of these off for us, which we're fly posting all over the country. So in lockdown, we got an Arts Council grant and we built a green screen TV studio. We've been live streaming events all summer. We did a 3-day Glastonbury event where we built a half-sized pyramid stage from cardboard and code and ran 3-day events. We had Martin and Gary Kemp. We had Glenn Matlock from the Sex Pistols on stage alongside community artists, dads and their kids. And we had a young lad from Leeds called Lenny who played his piano on stage, all virtual. And that's what we want to do. Lockdown's not going to lift in a hurry, and we're running festivals from a spare bedroom here in Paddington, but we need people involved. We want people to collaborate for creativity.
I think they're doing fantastic work to see.
For me, collaboration is everything.
Elton John gave me the greatest gift. Actually, he made a film, I don't know if you saw it, with John Lewis, where basically he tells the story of how he was given a piano as a kid and worked hard and made literally $1 million. I saw that film, ripped it off, put our own subtitles on it, and Elton John retweeted it. It had 50,000 views in an hour, and I went on a 2-week UK tour from Cornwall all the way to Carlisle, showing that film, showing my train set film, talking to kids about art and creativity, letting off rockets, and inspiring schools across the country in our 12 days of Creative Christmas tour.
You've inspired one little boy in particular, a very quiet boy, and as that rocket shot into the air, we heard the words blast off come out of his mouth.
Innovation, technology and dreams rocketing up to the sky.
The state education system, we have a lot of people feel it's been narrowed and narrowed and narrowed, focusing on teaching and testing of highly academic subjects, which are important, which are right for some kids, but it's not for everybody. And some kids come out of the education system literally broken. 9 out of 10 schools in Britain have reported cutting the arts in some way or another, which is a real tragedy. And we're going to lose that cutting-edge creativity that made Britain so famous. Creativity is Great Britain, after all. The ideal future for me would be a whole load of these trucks on the road with passionate, enthusiastic, committed, creative people, helping connect kids with their art and communities with their schools all the way across the UK. As Albert Einstein said, imagination can take us anywhere. Helps to turn my microphone on, doesn't it? So if you've just joined us, we are making this up as we go along. Look at all that, there's lots and lots of me. That's called video feedback, because that's a screen grab of a screen grab of a screen grab, because I've actually got the wrong thing up in there. So let's go and find what we want in our PowerPoint. Okay, well because that's my Zoom. Okay, so we're actually going to be live on BBC Shropshire in 11:30. And I know we've got a fantastic school in Birmingham who are waiting now, and I know schools don't like being late, so let me just get this video for them. Now, we are currently live on a Coventry cathedral that we have built literally in the school playground here at Ludlow School. Now I've got a feeling, Ludlow Primary School, I've got a feeling it's going to play that video again, so let's get ready to stop it if it does. Oh, it hasn't. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. And as you can see, if I zoom out, you'll see that we're actually on a cardboard Coventry cathedral in the school playing fields here in Ludlow Primary School in Shropshire. And we've actually just literally had an assembly, a 45-minute assembly. And when we talk to the children about the significance of Coventry Cathedral and why we've built a Coventry Cathedral in their playing fields like you do, and basically it's a symbol of aspiration, a symbol of hope. Let's show the film.
20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour.
Lift me up, take me there, keep me safe, light the flare. Hurry up, now it's time, take us higher we can climb. And I'll keep on running, I'll run with you. Use the stairs, miss a step, don't look back, keep ahead. We can run, we can hide, we'll survive, stay alive. And I'll keep on running, I'll run with you. Taking me.
So that's the theme tune of our Inspired to Learn tour. This is a song by a band called Titania, which is actually led by a young teacher from Parklands Primary up there in Leeds, led by Chris Dyson, one of our brave school leaders, as we like to call them. Amazing man, an amazing school. And really that's what today's all about. That's what we're talking about with the Education Arts Festival today, celebrating, showcasing the creativity of young people. It shouldn't be about old blokes like me, it's about the children, and today we're going to be looking at the art, looking at the work, looking at the creativity of our young people. Have to excuse me when I head in the screen because I've got a fantastic film lined up and I have just found it. So everybody over there, and I've got to actually just check because I don't want to say the school's name wrong. This is a beautiful film. So Twitter is a wonderful thing. Old Hill Primary were just fantastic. Old Hill Primary School have been very supportive of the UK Education Arts Festival. And I saw something on Twitter, and this is what this is all about. Art is what we call it when what we do might connect us to somebody else. Art is about community, it's about children, it's about creativity, it's about connecting and bringing us all together. And I saw a tweet on Twitter, funnily enough, of a fantastic project, a project that was very dear to my heart because I grew up in the school that we're live from today. I grew up in a little Shropshire town called Ludlow, and I went to this school that you see here now when I was 6, 7, 8. It opened in 1970, and I was one of the first cohort of children there. And I loved making, I loved creativity, I loved all sorts of things. Most of all, I think at the time, I probably loved my trains. And this is one of my trains. This is a train, it's a proper steam train that works with fire. You can put gas in it and you can light it, and I've got a railway track that goes around my garden, and I love trains, I've got to tell you, I do love trains. And I used to make things, I was rubbish at football, and the only memory I have of this particular playing field is all my mates playing football. Well, I learned to play rugby with the children that were in the ESN class, educationally subnormal, can you believe that? That's what they were called. And we played rugby, and then when I went to grammar school, all my friends were good at rugby and I was rubbish at rugby, so I never really did sport, but I loved making things, which is why I'm sitting here in a studio now full of lots of coloured masking tape like this, why I've got little castles like Ludlow Castle made out of toilet rolls and bits of card, why I've got rockets and let dynamite rockets off in schools, and that's the creativity, that's what I'm talking about. So when I saw this film on when I saw this film on Twitter the other day, I just had to connect with that school leader, that teacher. And this is a film that they've just sent in, and I'd just like to play it for you now. It's just wonderful.
We were set a challenge.
The challenge was to make a working fairground ride.
Challenge accepted!
As a class, we watched different fairground rides and watched how they work.
Then we created a research page in our DT books.
During our research, we found out about axles, mechanisms, pulleys and motors.
We were given an elastic band and 2 pulleys to explore.
We had to discover what we could do with them. When we twisted the elastic band, both pulleys went different ways.
We did this by attaching the motor to our base and attaching it to the pulley so it would all spin around like a circuit.
We had to create a circuit with a working switch to turn our motor on and off.
After we developed skills, we had to design our fairground rides. Tell me about your first design.
Our first design was has a face on it with foil coming out and some little devil wings.
Did you stick to your design?
No.
Why?
Because we didn't have enough time to make the face with the foil coming out and the devil.
Tell me about your first design.
My first design was a ladybug field with a canopy over it.
Did you stick with your design?
No, because I realised that I didn't have enough material to make the ladybugs a seat.
Overall, I'm pleased with what me and Lizzie designed, but we ran into some problems such as the pulley wheel wouldn't spin and it didn't look that good.
Overall, we are pleased with our design. One of the biggest challenges were the wires. They kept on coming off so that we had to put them in a different place.
This is our final product. Overall, there were some pros and some cons to our design. The main areas I would improve is where the axle is and how the switch works.
We really enjoyed doing this DT project, but it was very stressful.
There were lots of pros and cons to our work. We can always improve our designs.
It took quite a lot of time. We made a lot of errors, but we just had to keep it.
Challenge completed!
How cool was that? Just amazing. Thank you so much to all of you for such a fantastic project. That really was just off the scale wonderful. I've got someone on the phone now. I think this is BBC Shropshire, so I'm just going to cut to BBC Shropshire. Hang on just 1 second. I'm going to mute my microphone. Is BBC Radio Shropshire, testing 1 2 3.
To challenge Shropshire then now,
Yeah,
because
we can hear you.
Charlie in Dawley set us a pub quiz question.
Hello, Nick. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We're live
us
to
what your
the
question
internet,
was.
to YouTube, Facebook,
right.
and Twitter from a cardboard Coventry cathedral. How about that? Is that good enough for you?
Brilliant. Are you there with Nicola as well?
She'll be joining us in a moment. Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you very much. So
Thank you.
just to let you know, we're just finishing our quiz, and then Mark will be with you shortly.
Fantastic. Super. And you can hear me okay, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Superb. Well, you're live as well. Is he going to have a camera on, do you know?
Is he going to have a camera on? So I'm just double checking with a colleague. We're not sure if he's got one. He's just live on the air at the moment, so I'm not
Don't
able
worry,
to ask
it's
him.
fine. Don't you worry. It's all good. We're waiting, standing by. Thank you very much.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Nick. Thank you.
first of all, what on earth is going on at the moment?
Well, hello there. I've got to pick you up on your spag, actually. Do you know what spag is, out of interest? Spaghetti, it's not spaghetti, but spelling, punctuation and grammar. You said they are building. We have built it. I'm sorry.
Oh, you have? Right.
Can we get our tenses right, please? We have built a half-size...
We can.
Coventry Cathedral on the playing fields here at Ludlow Primary School, where I was the first pupil in 1970, believe it or not. And I know that ages me a little bit. But yeah, we are here live and direct.
This has got to be massive.
It's half size. It's not massive. It's only half size. It's about 200 foot tall, the tower. It's not as big as Ludlow.
Yeah, only.
But yeah, we're quite pleased with it. So a few cardboard boxes, a few egg cartons, a bit of sticky tape. But the most important thing is it's made from cardboard, code and creativity and imagination, because we've basically built it in computer graphics. It's all virtual, but if you saw it on screen now, we're actually live on Twitter, Facebook and the internet, believe it or not, now, chatting to you, and you'd think it was real. And we launched the tower at the end of the assembly to, it was just wonderful.
So this is learning all about, I mean, there's science, there's coding, there's IT, there's maths, there's history, there's all sorts involved in this.
Just another day at school, really, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. I don't like acronyms very much, but we're called STEAMco because we're passionate not just about science, technology, engineering, art and maths, but the creativity that wraps all of those things together, because it's the creativity, it's the problem solving, it's all those skills that are going to get our kids through the challenges that lie ahead. And I'll tell you one thing, we won't have anybody calling them the lost generation or catching up. These kids need to be jumping up, aiming high and reaching as high as the sky. And that's why we're doing this. Coventry Cathedral rose from the ashes after the war. And today we launched that tower to inspire those kids to aim as high as they can by finding their art, something they can make a bit of money from, make a few friends from, or make the world a better place with. I mean, just was school like this for you when you were a little boy? Can you remember that far back?
No, absolutely not. No, I mean they were just about teaching me to read, I think. But when you look at Coventry Cathedral, how much have you done of it? Is it just the main tower, or have you tried to do the whole lot?
There's no try. We have built a whole Coventry Cathedral in computer graphics, with code, with creativity, cardboard, in the school playing ground. If anybody wants to go onto YouTube now, or to Facebook or Twitter, go to hashtag EduArtsFest, EDU for education, arts, ARTS and fest. Hashtag, you'll find us on Twitter, YouTube and Facebook. And we have built it. And we've got children all over the country today who are performing, they're making, they're singing, they're reading, and they're putting it all up on social media, on Twitter and Instagram, as part of this Education Arts Festival. And we're going to put them on our stage. So they're going to see themselves on the internet on this cardboard Coventry Cathedral. It's just mad, isn't it, really? I mean, it just doesn't get more exciting, really.
I mean, is it tricky? Because it's almost like it's two different buildings, isn't it? There's a whole lot of contrast and detail to get right in one part, and then the sort of the post-war kind of more brutal bit on the one side.
I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's a wonderful example of yesterday and tomorrow, isn't it? And how that church, that cathedral changed. How they didn't rebuild it. The day after it was bombed, they decided to rebuild it, not as an act of defiance against the world that was against them, but as a sign of togetherness, a sign of hope, a sign of aspiration. And I think what's also lovely about the new cathedral with the stained glass is that they've not got the chairs in rigid pews in the way that they were in the olden days. A little bit like Ludlow Parish Church, Kelvin Price, the rector there at Ludlow St Lawrence. They've taken all the pews out and they've now got a flexible system so that you can sit and have a community event in there. And I'm actually doing a talk in a month there as part of Ludlow Fringe, where we're doing an event called The Art of Dads, nutcases like me, nutcases like my dad, to talk about how we need to inspire our kids to be creative, to find their art and to make the world a better place. So yes, we're part of Ludlow Fringe as well, so there's a hell of a lot going on here.
How have the kids reacted to this? Because I imagine that big project, you'll get some different reactions. You might get one or two overawed, and then the leaders will come through and kind of, I imagine you've got a few little project managers.
It's very interesting you say that. I did this in Coventry a couple of months ago because we're doing this all across the UK. We're doing a thing called the Inspired to Learn 21 tour, and I'm taking this to schools all over the country. And what made me laugh, a day in Coventry, we did the computer graphics where the rocket tower took off in his school playground. There's a little message went up on the screen because the kids were all at home at the time, all locked down. And he said, oh, that's rubbish, that's fake, it's done in Blender. So he knew, this lad in year 6 knew exactly what software program we'd used, which is a free piece of software, believe it or not. And these kids, there are kids out there building these things themselves and criticising me. So the irony is, all the kids in years 1, 2, 3, 4 had their mouths on the floor. They couldn't believe what they were seeing, a rocket taking off in their playground. And this lad was telling them how it was done. But then all the parents and teachers were thinking it was amazing. So there's this sweet spot, do you know what I mean, in year 6
Yeah.
of kids who can see right through the scam that I'm presenting to them, basically.
Do you think things, all of the video games that encourage kids to sort of build their own worlds do get them interested in things like engineering and design and things like that?
I think you're absolutely right there. Absolutely not spot on. I was talking to the kids today about coding, the art of coding, because we say that art is whatever you do that can connect you to somebody else. So there are coders, there are painters, there are dancers, drawers. And we show a picture of a lad whose job is making computer games. And I love saying to the kids that this lad didn't sit around playing games all the time when he was young. He probably played a bit at a time. He probably got a clip around the ear off his mum for being late for his dinner, like everyone does when they're on Minecraft. But then he probably phoned his mates and said, you know what, I've had an idea. You're good at coding. You're good at graphics. I've got the big mouth. I'll do the marketing. So-and-so's good at product. And they started companies. And we've got to inspire our kids and also understand that when they are playing games, as long as they're not doing it all the time, my dad always used to say moderation, lad, whether it was alcohol or computers. We've got to encourage these kids, but keep them on the straight and narrow. Our kids, we talk about catch up and going back to school. These kids didn't go back to school. They leapt forward when they went back to school. They learned more out of school, some of these kids, than they learned in. And we've got to understand that and cut them some slack, I think. So you're absolutely right. These are good skills, working together. I can't play half the game. I can't play with my kids on the PlayStation because I'm too rubbish, because they're too fast. They're thinking ahead. They're playing with 20 people all over the world. They are team players. These are good skills, and we've got to tap into that as a country.
So remind us where people can see what you've done today.
Oh, I haven't got a clue, mate. Let me think again. Hashtag EduArtsFest is the Education Arts Festival today. We're on a UK tour called the Inspired to Learn 21 tour. But the really exciting thing for me is that I've been asked to be the patron of the Ludlow Fringe Festival this year. That's 80 events between the middle of June and the middle of July, subject to COVID, in the church, in the Ludlow Brewery, Stokesay Court. We've got Shakespeare, we've got poetry. I've got Glenn Matlock, exclusive announcement today. I can announce we've got Glenn Matlock, who from a band called the Pistols. Do you remember them? The Sex Pistols. I couldn't say that in school earlier, but he's the co-founder of the Sex Pistols. He's coming down to do an event called the Art of Rebels, where he's going to talk and play. We've got a local band talk. So with something for everybody. We really want this to be a festival for the people, by the people, with the people, not just here in Ludlow, but we're going to live stream a lot of it as well. So it's going to be a Fringe festival like you've never seen before. So 3 things really: Fringe, Inspired to Learn tour, and the Education Arts Festival. And I'll tell you one thing, I love BBC Radio, BBC local radio. There was a show on at Christmas with Kylie Minogue, and she was talking about how disco shines a light in the darkness. And believe it or not, I've got a mirror ball in front of me right now on the internet, and we're giving away 20 of these, and we're going to have a massive mirror ball in Ludlow Castle Square when we're coming up. We're doing a Glastonbury festival on the Cardboard Pyramid stage, 25th, 26th, 27th of June. And we want the whole of Shropshire to be part of this, the whole of the country, the whole world. We're going to shine a light in the way that BBC Local Radio does. So thank you so much for your interest and support. Oh, I wear myself out, I do, I tell you.
Well, I suspect we might be speaking to you again before the Fringe, but thank you very much for now. Nick, really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. You take care. Keep up the great work. Bye-bye.
And you. That's Nick Corson from Steam Co. And hashtag EduArtsFest is the place to go.
Oh. I don't know if anybody caught that, but that was basically us on BBC Radio Shropshire Live, and they've disappeared. And I need a cup of coffee. We've got a few people tuned in here, which is good. I hope you can hear us. Let me just check that you could hear that. Oh, Mrs. Creativity's here. Happy EduArts Festival. Do you know what, Mrs. Creativity? I struggle to remember. I really do struggle to remember what it's called, actually. I must admit, I keep thinking of it's UK and global and whatever. We've just been live on BBC Radio Shropshire, which we're absolutely delighted about. And I'd actually like to just play the video again that was sent in to us from a fantastic school.
We were set a challenge.
The challenge was to make a working fairground ride.
Challenge accepted!
As a class, we watched different fairground rides and watched how they work.
Then we used the research page in our DT books. During our research, we found out about axles, mechanisms, pulleys and motors. We were given an elastic band and 2 pulleys to explore.
We had to discover what we could do with them. When we twisted the elastic band, both pulleys went different ways. So we had to look at a motor to work our pulley system.
We did this by attaching the motor to our base and attaching it to the pulley so it would all spin around like a circuit.
We had to create a circuit with a working switch to turn our motor on and off. After we developed skills, we had to design our fairground rides. Tell me about your first design.
Our first design was has a face on it with foil coming out and some little devil horns.
Did you stick to your design?
No,
Why?
because we didn't have enough time to make the face with the foil coming out and the devil
Tell me
horns.
about your first design.
My first design was a ladybug field with a canopy over it.
Did you stick with your design?
No, because I realised that I didn't have enough material to make the ladybugs a suit. Overall, I'm pleased with what me and Lizzie designed, but we ran into some problems such as the pulley wheel wouldn't spin and it didn't look that good. Overall, we are pleased with our design.
One of the biggest challenges were the wires. They kept on coming off so that we had to put them in a different place.
This is our final product. Overall, there were some pros and some cons to our design. The main areas I would improve is where the axle is and how the switch works.
We really enjoyed doing this DT project,
But it was very stressful. There were lots of pros and cons to our work.
We can always improve our designs.
it took quite a lot of time. We made a lot of errors, but we just had to keep it.
Challenge completed!
That was a lovely little piece there from Old Hill Primary School over there in Birmingham, the Black Country, Cradley Heath. My brother works near there actually. I'm going to see if we can get him to sort of connect us up with you guys. Absolutely fantastic project there. DT, creativity arts, is all about making and getting creative. As the Arts Council say, #Let's Create. Now we're just playing for time at the moment. It's 11:45 and I'm hoping to do two things. We've got Nicola and Jack from Ludlow Fringe Festival who are doing some stuff with the snail trail. So I want to see if I can get them on. We'll just have a little sort of preview actually of what we're doing with Ludlow Fringe. We made some major announcements this morning. Very, very, very exciting announcements there. So I'm going to see if I can get those guys on here now. I think I'll just cut to the rocket launch video again actually, because we do like that, don't we? Should we just play our rocket launch again? Let's get that to start again. So this is a rocket launch of our cathedral tower here from oh my goodness, I'll tell you what, I wear myself out sometimes, I really do. Here we go, let's click that on there like that, and now that should play when I click the play button.
20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour.
Lift me up, take me there, keep me safe like a flare. Hurry up, now it's time. Take us higher, we can climb, and I'll keep on running. I'll run with you. Use the stairs, miss a step, don't look back, keep ahead. We can run, we can hide, we'll survive, stay alive, and I'll keep on running. I'll run with you. Taking me higher, 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 and I'll keep on running, and I'll keep on coming, take me higher than I've ever been. Taking me higher, 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 and I'll keep you running, and I'll keep you coming, take me higher than I've ever been. Is there really something out there that can stop me ever getting close to you?
Wow, well here we are. We're having such an exciting time today. I'm going to have to do a massive apology to somebody now because I've just really messed up, I'm afraid. I so messed up because I was supposed to go live to Miss Grant there in Ludlow Junior School, and there she is. Miss Grant, I'm so sorry. I can't hear you. On mute, miss. You are on mute.
Yeah, we're Ludlow Primary School, not Ludlow Junior School anymore. But we're here now, so that's good. And I've got some year two children with me as well. So
Hello, boys and girls. How are you today? Hello. Lovely to see you. Did you like our little session this morning?
Yeah!
What was the favourite bit for you? What did you like the most?
The musical.
The music?
the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Can-
launching. Yeah. Yeah, that was my favourite bit. Yeah.
Can you remember any words from the music, the song? Can you remember any words from it? Can't quite see you, young man. Move into the middle a little bit more.
Sit next to Flynn a little bit. Yeah, that's.
Can you remember any words from that song that we had?
I can't.
No clue.
I can remember. I don't have a
What do rockets do?
They blast off.
Right. Do they go low or do they go
High. They go fast.
So what were the words for the song then? Take me
high.
Take me higher than I've ever been. Take me higher than high, because that's what art's all about. Do you know what your art is? Hands up if you think you've got an art, something you love doing, something that might one day be a job, something that might make you some friends, something that might help you make the world a better place.
Hands up.
Miss, do you want to go on? Let's hear somebody.
Go on, Flynn. Go on, Evie. Have a little think. What do you think? You want to be an art teacher? She wants to be an art teacher. There you go. That won't make you much money.
We're to make art.
So you'll love it. How about you, Rory?
I was travelling around the world and making the world a place.
Oh, fantastic. What are you going to do to make it better?
Try and make clean oil and I don't know, just make good art and make some money for the UK.
Oh.
Well, that's
How
brilliant.
about you? Hilary, how about you? You're not sure? That's okay. You've got plenty of time to think about it. Well, Flynn, has it come back to you now?
We're doing art this Saturday.
We are doing art this afternoon, yeah. Yeah, we're doing some fantastic art this afternoon, but I haven't told you what it is yet. 'Cause it's a bit of a surprise, but it's something to do with what we've just been reading about. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Miss, you'll have to come back on later on. I'll keep this Zoom room open, so if you want to come back on and show us some art that you're doing, we could do that later on if you want to.
Oh, yeah, we'd love to. Should we show Nick the art we're doing later on? Yeah. Yeah, we'd love to do that. Yeah, because it's based on Australia. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Which we're studying at the moment. Yeah.
Well, what did you learn this morning, Miss? Did you learn anything?
I learned a lot about my class and about the children in our school and how enthusiastic they are about learning, how enthusiastic they are about doing new things, trying new things out, and when they've got opportunities, they really grab them and want to go for it. So I think it was fantastic that we're going to have this opportunity. So excited, and they're really excited. You should have seen them afterwards. You were buzzing, weren't you? Yeah, you were buzzing. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I tell you what I didn't do. I didn't show you all my tech. Would you boys and girls like to see my tech and how I'm actually doing this at the moment?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. How it works. Yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you what. I'll see if I can get it. I'll see if I can get it to work. I've got a little
next to Evie, and you move around as well. So
I've got a little camera here. This is called a GoPro camera. And I'm going to see if I can plug this into my system, if I can find the right wires. And we'll show you the tech we've got here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I've got that on a big long wire now. I'm going to try and connect that to my system. And you know what? I learned all this because when I was a little boy in Ludlow, I did electronics and I used to mend things. I used to make things. I used to do model railways and trains and all sorts of things. So basically, what you've got, this is me, and I'm just in front of a green screen. Can you see that? I'm this green screen.
Yeah.
And if I turn round, this is what is in front of me, all the tech.
Wow.
I've got an Alienware gamer laptop. This is a really high-powered gamer laptop. I've got a screen on the left-hand side over there. And this is where I can see what's going out. I can put messages up on the screen like that. So if people type a message in there, I can put it up on the screen. And then you're on a screen over there, and you can see yourself. Yeah. So that's you.
You're going to have to squash in a bit.
And you're also over here, because this computer here is my control computer, and that's what controls everything. So when I get a bit confused, it's because I don't know which one of these buttons to press. Or which and I've also got lots of buttons underneath here that I have to press, and a little box here that I can press. And this laptop here is just my PowerPoint laptop. Miss could probably do the PowerPoint for me, couldn't you, Miss?
Well, I could do a lot of those things. Thank you very much.
and there's my disco ball up the top there as well. So we're going to have a big disco party. I tell you what, Miss. Would you like me if I send a mirror ball to the school? Would you hang it up and shine some light in the darkness as we all come out for our festival and our fringe? Would you like that?
Yeah, we'd like that, wouldn't we? Yeah.
And you know, I don't think I've been to Clearview. What do you call it? What do you call that site?
Sandpits Road. We are. We're Key Stage 1 and the nursery and early years. You'll have to come and have a look. And then the years 3, 4, 5, and 6 are where you have been.
And 3.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll come and I'll be there for a week or two. So I'll come and see you all in school definitely during that week. Just a little pop in.
Yeah, we'd love that.
And then the Friday, the Friday's going to be up at Clearview, but I presume you'll be taking children backwards and forwards as well. Will you, Miss, for that?
Yeah, we'd like to take some of the groups up there as well, like we did. Yeah, like we have done before, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, well, that's just super. Well, thank you very, very much for joining us. I'm hoping now to get Nicola and Jack, who work for the Ludlow Fringe Festival, on, because they are going to do a little video on how to make snails. Are you going to make some snails for us for our Ludlow Fringe?
Yeah, we are. We've signed up for that. I think Miss Smith, our art coordinator, is onto it already, I think.
Well, that's brilliant, because I'm waiting. They're roaming around Shropshire at the moment, and I'm trying to track them down to see. Okay, I'm just going to make a quick phone call now to see if I can get them on the system. Shall I play the rocket launch video again while we're waiting? Would you like to see that again?
Yeah, we can do. Let's sit here.
Very cool. And thank you very much, Mrs. Grant, for all your help making this happen, because it wouldn't have happened without you.
Oh no, it's good. I think it's just so important. We've got so bogged down with other things, and the kids. This is what really go that way a bit. That's what really. That's it. You're on. That's what really gets them motivated.
Listen to the words of the song, and can you all do a countdown for me when it gets going as well?
Seconds and counting. 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour.
Guess we better go and see if Miss Bolton wants her lunch, because otherwise she won't have a break, will
Oh,
she?
yeah.
Yeah. Should we say bye to Nick then?
Yeah.
Bye, Nick. We've got to go and relieve Miss Bolton now for her lunch.
Brilliant. Sorry, I didn't have my microphone turned on. Okay, then. So I'll see you all later on, maybe. We're just about to do it. We're just going to do a chat with Matthew and Nicola and Jack from the Fringe about the snail thing. It's all going to be on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, so you can always play it later. Maybe when you get home.
We better go in there. Let Miss Bolton go for her lunch though, because she's on playground duty as well.
You do that, Miss, and we'll catch up later on. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Yeah, Bessie. Bye.
Bye. See you later. Bye. Thank you.
Fantastic. So we now need to track down. We've got our Fringe people are coming on now. This is wonderful. Oh, this is so exciting. We haven't even had a minute to go and preview anything that's going on the Edu Arts Fest. If anybody wants, we've got another few bits and pieces. We've got a Joseph Cash primary from Coventry. We've got a piece of fantastic performance from their boys and girls, and we'll get that up probably about 1 o'clock. I'm now waiting for the Fringe people, because we're going to do the snail trail thing from Ludlow Fringe. Delighted that I've been asked to be the patron of Ludlow Fringe Festival this year. It's been going for, I think, about 8 or 10 years now, but when I was a little boy, there was a national and international festival of the arts, a big Shakespeare play in the castle, and lots of very posh classical stuff, and it was wonderful. It really was good, but it didn't feel as if it was for everybody. And I think what's really fantastic is how the Fringe is a very, very accessible thing. Got funding from the National Lottery, from the Arts Council, from the Department of Digital Culture, Media and Sport, and the HM Treasury as part of the Culture Recovery Fund, and Emergency Arts Council funding and Arts Council project grants. So it's just wonderful. So if you pay the lottery, then you've helped make Ludlow Fringe Festival happen. And if you pay your tax, you've helped make Ludlow Fringe Festival happen, because this has been funded by both the lottery and the Treasury as part of COVID emergency funding, which we've been very grateful for here at Steamco. We've got the graphics up there to prove it as well. we've used that funding to build a green screen TV studio and to connect and run events all across the country, and we're really paying that off in dividends now, because here we are today on this cardboard cathedral to demonstrate the creativity, to demonstrate the aspiration, the determination, the hope that we all need at this time. It is a challenging time, and nobody's going to pretend it isn't, and we are absolutely delighted to be working with Ludlow Fringe. And I'm particularly delighted because I've been given use of Ludlow Church, which is a very, very special place for me, growing up as a boy here in Ludlow back in the day. And I'm going to be running an event in Ludlow Church on the 1st of July. That's the Art of Dad's event, inspired by this wonderful picture here of Kevin Mumford and his dad and his mum, and sadly Kevin's father passed recently. But very, very inspiring, really inspiring story, and I think that's one of the most powerful pictures, and that's really inspired what I'm doing. Delighted that we've got Glenn Matlock from the Pistols doing an event called the Art of Rebels at Ludlow Fringe, and a celebration of the creativity of all our young people on the 20th. No, I've got the 24th there. That's wrong. I've just been told. That should say the 20. Should we just change it now? Let's just change it, and it's done then, isn't it? Let's change that. If I can find the mouse, and we'll make that into a 25th, because Nicola just pointed out that I got that wrong. So there we go. That's back. So now the 25th of June, we're doing a Your Glasto here at Ludlow Primary School, and then across Ludlow. We're going to set up the pyramid scale stage in the school on the Friday, and then Saturday we're going to put it up in Castle Square in Ludlow, and then on the here we go, here come our snail people. We are going to be doing, I've got a bit of an idea for the Sunday. We'll have to think about that. Oh, hello, you're sideways on. This is exciting. It doesn't come more exciting than this. Hello, Nick. All right.
How you doing?
Oh, we're the wrong way.
We're the wrong way around.
I think you've got your screen lock on. You
See
need one
if
of
we
those.
can check.
You need one of those Year 1 kids from Ludlow Primary School to sort your kit out.
Sweet. Hold on. What's it doing, man? There we go. No, taking it off, I think.
That looks
There
better,
we
doesn't
go.
it?
Yeah, that looks good. So, what have you two troublemakers been up to this morning? This looks like a load of old whatever it is. What is it? Goodness me!
Show you.
Epic.
So, with Matthew, who's going to run this snail trail project for us, which will start at the beginning of the festival this year, and we'll be sending out kits to many primary schools so that you can make your own snails.
Absolutely epic. What are they made out of?
Just a bit of clay and some little bit of
Acrylic paint.
yeah, hard work. Not hard work even. It's quite easy. We've just been filming with Matthew today, the cob oven man, a little how-to tutorial. So hopefully by next week we should be able to get that up on our YouTube site, and then we will start distributing the packs to schools, Ludlow School, I think St Lawrence School, and any other schools in the sort of locality that want to get involved. And they'll all have a little how-to and a video they can jump online to check out.
But Matthew did say when we were filming, he's very keen to for the kids involved to try their own designs. They don't have to be sort of conventional snails. As you can see, we've got interesting colour schemes and glitter and stuff going on here, but also he's been designing ones with sort of, instead of shells, they've got little caravans on their back and that sort of thing. So it's all about exploring the form, really, and you know, coming up with whatever you think a snail is.
So lots of scope for creative interpretation, as I think they say in the arts world. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly that.
So as Nicola says, we're going to be putting together a little informational video. So you know, the core principles of it, but then it will be all up to the individual artists to do with it what they want.
Brilliant.
And then at the end of the, everybody will come together with all their snails. We'll do a little exhibition all around Ludlow.
So this really is a snail trail then, is the kind of vibe then, is it? That's what you're calling it, the snail trail, are you?
Exactly that, yeah. So I mean, it's up to, we were thinking that people could put their names or perhaps their school on the bottom of the snails, and that way, obviously, wherever we place them around Ludlow, you'll be able to take a look at the different snails that are out there, and perhaps go onto social media with your class and basically collect the snails via photos and things like that. So that'd be really nice. It'd be also nice to see how far the snails travel.
Wicked. So and are you looking for people to do this across the country as well, or just within Ludlow? I mean, is it open to anybody?
It's really open to anybody that's able to access. I suppose if, you know, obviously the further away they are from getting a pack from us, if they could get hold of some clay and some paints and things and do it themselves, that'd be lovely. Alternatively, if any of the people kind of locally are going on holiday, they could take the snails with them, and then we could see, you know, if anybody finds them and reports them back to us.
So we're not doing a snail trail for people to sort of literally put them in an exhibition. You want people to sort of hide them up in the woods and in different places, do you as well? Maybe like a geocaching type adventure?
If people are, you know, members of groups, or even if they just want to get their school to participate, they don't all need to be sent through and end up in Ludlow. If people want to do it for their local town and just sort of have them all popping up at the same sort of time, and people discovering them by themselves, maybe when they're out walking or whatever, where people have you know, taken it upon themselves to hide them, maybe on their woodland walk when they're out with their dogs or whatever, that anything like that would be great, as long as they're sort of sending their images through to us and to you. It's all good stuff, wherever they might end up popping up around the country.
Wicked. Well, I mean, I think this is really going to be a way of showing not just how art connects, but how the Ludlow Fringe connects, really, isn't it? And how projects like this, that the Arts Council, the Lottery, Department of Culture fund, small amounts of money relatively in the general scheme of things, but how they can connect communities and help people connect themselves with their own creativity as well. Would you? Have you got many examples of that over the last few years, how local people have really embraced the Fringe and how it's meant something more than just sitting in an audience?
Yeah, and it's always really nice getting the schools involved. It's really nice sort of offering something for the younger people to be a part of, and something that brings them kind of together in the community as well. I think that's the aspect that we're taking. It's a sort of solidarity thing.
But it's also very nice that through something like this, that, you know, predominantly the kids are involved in, but obviously the wider audience is all the people of Ludlow. So and you know, even people travelling into Ludlow for the festival in general. So it's also nice for something that maybe, you know, younger people produce is still being seen by, you know, an older audience, and things like this always go down a treat, where we're actually, you know, integrating the exhibit into the town, and so it can be viewed by anyone that attends the festival, which is a nice element.
No, it's a wonderful project, isn't it? I mean, you two are producers on the event, on the festival, really, then, aren't you? I've seen you're part of the production team. I mean, are there any particular highlights that stand out for you?
In terms of the events that are coming up for the festival? Well, everything. I don't know, because we're so familiar with everything now. It's like we're just excited to get the ball rolling and get everybody involved now.
Yeah, the nice thing is it's always quite an eclectic mix of style of performer. So obviously it ranges from comedy to theatre to cabaret, to spoken word, dance, general art exhibitions, that sort of thing. And also it's a mix of people that have been involved before and just want to return to us and because they enjoyed performing previously, and also, you know, people that are completely new to it, who might know through us through word of mouth, or they literally just, they themselves are new to performing, and they sort of want a sort of more comfortable small town venue, if you like, in which to sort of cut their teeth and perform. So yeah, specific highlights, I mean, I think
there's loads, isn't there?
Yeah, it really is. There'd be too many.
Okay, guys, here's the thing then. Let's just imagine you're members of the public and you've been given 3 free tickets to go to anything. What 3 things would each of you go to? Come on.
Go for a mix. Remember, we've got on the square at Castle Square in Ludlow, everything that's going to be on the square is absolutely free for anybody to turn up to and watch. So that's probably one place I would definitely head, because that's going to be a combination of many different performances.
As you know, Nick, that's also going to host your Glasgow. So that in itself, as I'm sure you can attest to, is going to be a mix of all different sort of disciplines and types of performance.
I'm looking at a theatre cabaret. I think that's going to be something I'm definitely going to enjoy.
For me, I think if we're going in order of the festival, definitely the Split Egg Magic Show. That's happening in the first weekend. The second weekend of the festival. We're not doing any indoor performances for the first week, just as obviously it's immediately coming out of lockdown relaxation. But so they're doing a sort of comedy magic show. We've got
comedy, actual stand-up comedy. We've got the Wednesday night comedy with Drew Taylor, which is going to be very good because that's real sort of open mic scenario. But obviously we know who's turning up. So we've got 4 or 5 comedians that night.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a good evening. Then we've got Ivo Graham and Alex Keeley. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I mean Nicola's gone over a 3-ticket quota, but that's the.
Well, that's probably the correct answer, isn't it? Really, we've got to create the vibe that this is an unmissable event, and I don't think that's a hard thing to do because it is just brilliant, and I'm so proud to be part of it. You know, the festival for me growing up as a child was always a bit posh, you know, and a little bit stuffy. But you know, here we are. It's an event with something for everybody, isn't it? It really is very, very broad in its appeal.
And also, there's stuff there that you might not think you wanted to see. So you know, there's also upon reading maybe in the brochure and stuff, you might not actually understand initially what the performance is. But I think those are well worth checking out as well. The sort of things that wouldn't necessarily be in a big London theatre or anything like that. You know. That's the whole point of Fringe is discovering the sort of less discovered, I guess.
And the pricing's as affordable as it can be. I mean, it's not expensive. There's a lot of free stuff, isn't there, as you say?
Yeah, we try and balance everything out. Some of the bigger performances where there's obviously, you know, a big production team and things like that. Obviously, we've had to put the tickets up slightly more than we have done before. But I don't think anything is higher than £20. For a ticket, and a lot again we counteract that by trying to put on as much for free, or you know, for under sort of £5 as we can as well. Lots of family stuff this year as well. We've kind of made it very accessible for family groups to enjoy. Whoop, I think my thingy's just running out. Sorry.
Lost your camera, not to worry. Well,
it's just my
camera. I really love about the live streams that I've done with Ludlow because we're doing our previews every Wednesday. I know you guys are running around doing your pop-ups, and we're going to be doing some live stream events. So live stream, we're using the tech as and when. What I love is the sounds of the birds chirping away in the background, because I've got it in my ears, and I'll be honest, they're better quality than you. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I think that is the sort of uniqueness of Ludlow Fringe in particular, is that we're obviously bringing in some cases acts that you know, a London-based, city-based, that sort of thing, your neck of the woods, and they're taking time out to come all this way and sort of you know, perform with us. So it's very nice that people do sort of come into the rural areas. There you go, that beautiful rural areas, and give us the time to come and perform. So obviously, part of the ticket sales is that we're supporting these artists. So it'd be great if people could get onto ludlowfringe.co.uk, go to programme 2021 pages, and start buying up a wide range of tickets.
Brilliant, absolutely. Have you got a copy of the programme to hand? I know you just mentioned the programme.
Fortunately, now we're jetting all over the place this morning. We're not completely prepared, other than the snails, unfortunately.
You couldn't pop one in the post for me, could you? I'd love to see one.
Here's one. Yeah, so if we do disappear, the battery on the phone's literally just about to die because we've not even had time to sit down and recharge today.
We'll knock it on the head now. I think we'll play our little video of our Coventry Cathedral tower going off again. That's wonderful. I love that one, Nikki. That's brilliant.
But yeah, so we've done the how-to, and that will be available on the website. I would have thought by Monday.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Everything's by the seat of.
Yeah, maybe not Monday because it's bank holiday. We might be recovering from a long night barbecue.
One thing you'll learn from working with me is I tend to wake up in the morning and think, what shall I do today? That's called long-term planning for me.
Yeah,
that's about how it goes for us.
My son was 18 on Monday, and he's having a birthday party in our house on Saturday night. My wife's away, and I don't know whether to be in or not. But my point is, if I'm still standing Sunday, and if the house is still standing, I may just jump in the car and come up to Ludlow for Sunday and Sunday night, because there's a couple of things I want to see and do. So if you're around, you know, if obviously it's a holiday, so I don't want to interrupt you, but if you are around, or you know, just to say hello, drive by and say hello, whatever, because I don't think I'll be able to get up again before, but no stress on that. I'll
well,
give us a heads up before we get to the pub.
Before you get up, yeah. Well, if you are in a pub, that sounds perfect. Where can people get programs from, guys?
At the moment, the programs are down at Ludlow Brewery, but they are going to be distributed to every door in Ludlow at the moment, and I think we're getting a pallet collected this weekend that will be distributed a little bit further around the marches. Program is online at the moment though as well, but physical programs, there should be some that you can go and pick up from the brewery.
And the program is constantly being added to. So whilst all the physical live performances are already posted, we're still updating with streams and online performances. So do keep on checking in. You know, well, every other day or every day on ludlowfringe.co.uk, and there'll be more and more events as time goes on.
I'll take that as a subtle hint to get my stuff sorted out, Jack, as well, eh? That's called a dig in the elbow, in the ribs from over the internet. It's all good, all good. Thanks for your work, guys. Right. You're doing a great job. Love to everybody, Anita, yourselves, Claire, Lucy. Brilliant team of people working so hard to make this event happen. I'll see you hopefully at the weekend, if not in a few weeks. You take care, yeah?
All the best, Nick. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Lovely to see you. Wow, how cool was that? What a lovely thing. So Snail Trail there in Ludlow Fringe Festival. So go to the website and get tickets for that. Absolutely so exciting. I mean, it's just brilliant. I'm just trying to click these buttons and let them relax by getting them off the screen. There we go. Let's get rid of them. So they're off the screen now. That's good. So Ludlow, the home of A. Houseman. I mean, Shropshire lad, beautiful poetry that he wrote. And I think we can probably even zoom in on that, actually, can we, and see that? So A. Houseman, Shropshire lad. The lads in the hundreds to Ludlow come in for the fair. There's men from the barn and the forge and the mill and the fold. The lads for the girls and the lads for the liquor are there, and there with the rest are the lads that will never be old. A wonderful day here in Ludlow in Shropshire, celebrating creativity as part of the first ever National Education Arts Festival, to inspire all our kids to find their creativity, to find their art, to celebrate it, to showcase it. At 1 o'clock we'll come back and we'll show a little bit more of that, but this has just been a special session with Ludlow Fringe, BBC Shropshire. Thanks to everybody for supporting us today. Absolutely, thank you very much.
20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5.